This is Gracious John, a 7-year-old, approximately 16 hand gelding. Had his last race in June this year. He's come to us for his retraining and then to find him a nice new home. This is the first day that we have sat on him, and we're just going to take him into the school and see what he thinks about everything. Just give him a nice little walk and trot round and settle him in, see how he moves, and get a little idea about maybe what he wants to do as a new career. So at the moment, John is kind of going to be a typical ex-racehorse for his first time in a school. His head's up in the air a little bit. He's getting used to obviously having a different bridle and bit in his mouth. Hasn't really got much of a clue as to what I'm asking him to do, but we're just going to let him have a little trot round. Just dropped his head a little bit, and suddenly he's moving quite nicely. He seems to have picked this up quite quickly. We haven't really asked much of him. I just tried to encourage him to drop down a little bit lower and see what we could get, and suddenly he's really picked up on this. So really quite impressed with him for his first day ridden with us. Not going to ask too much. We'll just let him keep trotting around for a little while and let him just get comfortable, find his own balance, and realise that actually he can move quite well. We weren't really asking for a canter, but John has just jumped into it, so we've left him to just canter a few strides before we finish with him today. He struck off onto the left lead, so I would imagine that he's going to be much better on that rein when we first start cantering him, but we'll see what happens over the next day or so. So this is John's second day ridden, and he certainly seems to have picked up where we left off. He's definitely got the idea of dropping his head down, and he's moving quite nicely, considering he's not long really finished racing. I do think that he's definitely benefited from the use of the Equissage, which he has a daily massage with. So because John has been quite impressive today with his trot work and picked up from where we left off, we have given him a little canter again, started off on the left rein first, purely because yesterday when we asked for a little canter, he struck off quite easily onto the left lead. So we'll just settle him gently, and he's picked up really nicely, head down, quite balanced considering. It's probably the first time he's worked in a school this small for a long time. and we will just see what comes of the canter on the right rein when we give that a go in a little minute. So as suspected, John has struck off onto the left lead when we're trying to get a right-handed canter. He's definitely more comfortable going left-handed at the moment, but we're not going to really push him out of his comfort zone here, and we will just quite happily let him have a little canter around the school, doing a nice counter canter. Well, we've managed to get John to strike off onto the right lead with the right rein canter. He's definitely not as comfortable on this rein or leading with his leg, but he's giving it a go, so I'm really happy with him. He's definitely trying, and over the next few days, few weeks, we'll see where we go with this little horse. He's quite smart, and I think he's got a nice little exciting future ahead of him, and hopefully we might produce him into a nice dressage horse. He certainly seems to enjoy things so far, and he's settled in really, really well to it all. So we will see what the next few days and weeks bring.